right, wow, the sync is off, but that's fine.
Welcome back to the Mutually Assured Destruction Podcast. My name is Sharif.
Peace at least once. Why can't we do this peacefully? I'm Josh.
Hello, Josh. What's it like in Boston?
Yeah, you know, it's real cold over here, real nice. The temperature is nice. It's all real good. Not sweating to death or anything. I'm actually worried that we're gonna lose my recording because my power has gone off twice today. I'm at the tail end of a tropical storm. It's coming our way, and it's real wet over here. Just
imagine having rain.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I felt like an idiot because I ran from the door at work to the car, and it was so funny because within a quarter of a second I was soaked entirely, like I stepped into a shower, and I just started laughing. So I'm this maniac laughing while running to my car.
Oh my God.
I just hope no one saw me because I'm just
Speaking about maniacs, so I went to the grocery store today.
And that story's done.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store today, and so the equivalent to Kroger out here, is Fry's. It's owned by Kroger.
Speaking of grocery stores, I went to
shut the hell up. But I swear this lady thought I was like a stalker or some kind of maniac because we parked next to each other. We walk into the store at the same time, and the entire time, this is my first time in the store. I didn't know where they put anything, so I'm just aimlessly wandering around doing loops around. And somehow I followed her around the entire store every single time, up and down every single aisle. And then when I went to check out, because eventually I lost sight of her, I went to check out, and she's in front of me, and she looks behind me. She's like, what the hell? And then after that, I got my rewards card from the cashier. Like, oh yeah, just go activate it, customer service. I go to customer service, and she's standing there. She looks at me. She's like, what is happening? I'm like, nothing. And then I just walk away for a minute. She leaves, and I go back to customer service.
Not a good look.
No.
You doubled back too late. You should have doubled back second you reached the end of groceries and she was still there. Just do a little tour of groceries again.
No. Yeah. The worst part was at the customer service line because it was tucked away in this corner. By the time I saw her there, because you're so close, she already saw me. I'm like, oh no.
That's awkward.
It's very awkward.
That's really weird, especially after I sent you all those videos of serial killers. And how close are we saying you are to Phoenix? Because you're in Phoenix now. Are we just saying general Phoenix, or are we saying
no?
city?
We'll say Phoenix. I'm in Phoenix.
Okay,
I'm in Phoenix.
I'm trying to do as little editing as possible. So if you say where you're at, I'm just gonna it's gonna be in there.
I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh fucking! I have to edit this now. I don't want to restart. We're only 3 minutes in. Let's.
No, we're keeping we told the story.
You know what? You fucking edit this video one fucking week and see how long it takes to cruise through this like 3 times over at half speed. Fuck you. Why are we talking? We spent 30 hours in a car less than a week ago. Why are we doing this?
Because we didn't record anything when we were in the car.
Didn't we say everything, though? I feel like that's it. We can just wrap this up. We're done being friends, right?
Okay,
this is it?
No, here, Sharif, I have a question for you. This has to do with the car ride.
Okay.
You get $1 million, right?
Yeah.
But you remember that cow feeding lot that we passed by that smelled like absolute shit?
Oh, my God.
Like, for anyone listening, this was literally the worst smell I have ever smelled my whole life. Like, I almost threw up when I was driving past it.
I can't get out of my nose.
The
minute you mention it,
the AC went rancid in my car. It was
the
so
minute
bad.
you mention it, the smell it's on file. It's bookmarked.
Yeah.
I can pull it up in my brain.
But here you go, Sharif. You get $1 million, but you have to walk past that to get the $1 million.
Walk? It was like a 5-mile distance.
No, I'd say it was maybe like half a mile max.
There was no way. Josh, the lot itself was half a mile, but we smelled it coming.
I'm saying
said, what was that? And then it was a mile afterwards until it all blew out of the car.
Yep.
That was in a sealed car. That's like a 5-mile radius that thing's going to emit stink.
Yeah. Just walk or run past it. You get $1 million at the end.
I can close my nose though, right?
I mean, you can try to hold your breath.
The only problem with this was when we breathed it into our mouths, we could taste it.
That was horrible. That was disgusting.
Like, it's not a thing of like it was one of those. There's very few experiences in my life where that's happened, and it's usually around something that's very volatile smelling, like puke or something that you can like taste in the air, and that was a tasteable smell. It was very weird, and it was tasteable through a sealed car, Josh.
I just want to point out that it wasn't like any weird or any like, you know, too exotic of a smell. It was literally just cow shit. It was just pure
No, but it was condensed
cow shit.
It was like cow shit essence. It was a feedlot that was maybe half a mile wide, and it was probably 30,000 cows. Not 30,000. That's
no, yeah, 30,000.
It was probably like 2,000 cows that were just shoulder to shoulder in the half a mile area. And man, that goes in burgers, huh? That was horrible because I've seen good cow conditions, and good cows live happy ass lives. We saw so many good cow conditions on the way up here. Cows in fields, hanging out, chilling in lakes, like hanging out in barns and in shade. This was horrendous. And I felt bad because good cow conditions were like half a mile down the road.
Oh yeah, those were some happy cows.
There were some happy cows not too far away, like beyond a hill, that had no idea what was right around the corner. Like they had no idea what kind of torment was happening up that hill. That was horrific. I don't think I would take the money for walking that distance, but I don't think I could physically get through it.
Like, you'd probably like pass out and throw up or something.
I'd probably pass out from like oxygen starvation, like just inhaling all that.
You're inhaling pure methane at that point.
Methane, yeah. I'd probably pass out and like drown in a shit puddle or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, here's what
I'm not sure I could take it from safety reasons.
No, so here's the proposition. You have to try to make the full distance. But
what does it matter if I die?
But no, you don't die. The worst that would happen is you just pass out from like oxygen starvation.
I would.
And then once you pass out, it's like in an instant you're just in a hospital and you have the $1 million.
That's a scarring smell, though.
But it's either you walk the full distance or you essentially, get to the brink of death from smelling cow shit.
That was a scarring smell. We passed through it for 5 minutes. I've smelled dead things before, and it wasn't as bad as that. Like, this was very distinctly not a dead thing. It was the smell of, like, concentrated shit. But dead things, like, I don't know how the best way to describe it. They have kind of, like, a semi-sweet smell to them. Like, there's something in your brain that identifies it distinctly as a dead thing because it's nasty. But at the same time, it's a very distinct smell. Mm-hmm. This cow shit was just concentrated cow shit.
It was horrendous.
I don't know. No, I don't think I could do it. I think that smell would imprint in my brain forever. That couldn't happen. But anyways.
I mean, it's like, what? If you're just walking, let's say, the 1 mile, like you just start and end at that mile where the feedlot actually is. Like, you don't have to walk up to it. You don't have to do it the extra, like, 3 or 4 miles that we smelled it for.
You can. That's not the issue. It's not just not how long you're in there. It's the fact that the minute you're in there, you can taste it. It's in your mouth.
But, Sharif.
You're asking me basically if I want to eat cow shit for 8 minutes. Because that's what you're doing. You're literally, it's going into your lungs.
Yeah. I would.
That's really what it is.
For $1 million, though, I absolutely would do it.
I would not. I couldn't. I don't think you could eat. I think you'd come out with like PTSD or something.
Probably, but I'd have $1 million.
I think you'd come out like Molly on the 4th of July. Like, you'd just be like shaking and be like, what happened? No. Anyways, all right. So I was thinking. I had a thought the other day.
That's a first.
It was a thought. That was for fact. But it was, okay, eugenics, right? So Hitler did some like experiments with twins, right? You know about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know about that.
So is there a delay?
No.
Can't tell if it's your Wi-Fi or not.
No.
All right, Hitler did eugenics, did twin stuff, right? There was supposedly a story now of a very successful town full of twins because Hitler was like, this is twin town, twins live here, they make twins that have more twins and marry twins that have other twins. What if you were to make that on a large scale? What if you just relegated all the twins in the world, all the triplets to like one town? Would you have like a super breeding race of humans that every time they had babies, there was like a 70% chance they had 2 or 3 at a time? Would this population grow out of control if given enough resources?
I feel like, aside from the twin thing, but just the population growth, isn't that just Palestine?
That's kind of just Palestine. They said we will not be stopped, But is that possible though? Because Palestine is just a bunch of people having kids. That's kind of like all of it. But what if it was like what they gathered all the Palestinian twins and put them in a Palestinian city and went, this is Twin City. Everyone here is twins. Like, would that populate? Because being a twin is like what do you call it? It's genetic, isn't it? For the most part.
What do you mean? It's being a twin. Yes, you share the same genes. Well, it depends on what kind. Depends what kind.
Isn't twin a recessive trait? Like, isn't that something that like? Isn't it? Shut the fuck.
No.
Isn't it?
What
isn't a twin something that? Shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. Isn't a twin something that like you have a higher possibility of having if you're just twins in your family?
I don't think that's a genetic thing, but yeah, it's more possible if you are a twin, you're more likely to give birth to twins. I thought you meant the fact that like you and someone else are twins, that's because of some gene that you have. Like, no, that's not how.
No, this is why you don't let me fucking finish.
I'm
and
sorry.
Then you get your damn answer.
I just don't like hearing you talk about biology.
Then say something that makes sense. Say some words that adds to this. Don't twins. If you're a twin, doesn't that bring a possibility of having twins?
Yes.
That means it's a genetic thing. It's something that you pass on. Because if you have kids, even if they're not twins, they have a chance of having twins now because their parents were twins.
See, I know that twins have a higher likelihood of giving birth to twins, but I don't think it's because you have a specific gene that says twin.
Really?
Yeah.
I think, is it not?
No, because there's no specific gene in the human genome that says this is a twin or these are triplets.
Then
that's not how that works. I don't know exactly.
No, absolutely not. But it seems like there's a higher chance if it's in your genetics to have twins. It's got to be a genetic thing.
It's not genetic, but you have a higher chance. I don't know exactly how that works, but it does. It's not.
That sounds like genetics.
Just think about it. Is there a gene? Is there a piece of DNA in your body that indicates whether you are an only child?
Could be. I have no clue.
No.
Isn't that called being Asian? Isn't that the Asian gene?
No, that's not DNA. That's the government.
Right. Let's get racist for a second. How did Asians get so much with being single children? What happened there? Aside from...
You know about the population control thing. That's why like Chinese can only have one child.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just
aside from darker Asians like Philippines and Indonesians and all that, like the Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, they're all like very low number of population families.
I think because their populations were so out of control when the government started like saying like, hey, stop having this many kids, and then it just became more of like a cultural thing to only have one kid.
I thought that was just China, though.
I don't know. I feel like Japan had that, too, because you know how crowded Japan is.
But I don't think that... Well, even if they're crowded, you don't see big Japanese and Korean families.
Exactly, because they're crowded. And then, I don't know in the past if Japan or Korea ever had those same sort of like population control mandates for how many children you can have. If not, I feel like it's more of a cultural thing where, because in Japan and Korea... a lot of times you focus more on work than anything else. Like, you know how bad the work culture is in Japan, right?
Yeah, I know about that.
Where it's like they do that, they don't have time to take care of a full family. So it's like, oh, let's just have one kid. I feel like it's got to be a cultural thing.
Here's the thing, but the Middle East said, why not both? Why don't we work like crazy and have 20 kids per family?
See, that's because you guys are fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree to that. Arabs, we do be like that. Uh,
So you know how my water filter, it's still brand new.
yeah. Does it
My,
taste like water
no,
filter?
it tastes like water, but it's just like slightly thicker.
That's what I'm saying. I'm afraid to change my water filter. Because my water tastes like water again. But there's definitely like a 1 week period
Yeah.
where your water tastes extra spicy or something.
No, like it
extra
tastes like water.
chlorine-y.
It tastes like water, but it's just like a little more viscous than it should be. Like it.
What is it with liquids in your life being viscous? What's wrong with your hand sanitizer? What's wrong with your water?
Okay,
What's
that hand
wrong with
sanitizer wasn't mine. That was Dave's. That was in Dave's car.
I guess, but it's in your life, so it's kind of yours.
Okay, it's in your life too, so it's yours too.
Oh no.
You're the one that used it,
Yeah.
not me.
I'm so glad I went to Arizona to know I never want to be in Arizona.
Dude, come back in the winter. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal.
I don't believe you. I've seen too much Arizona to know.
Dude, like-
I know the truth now.
Like 70 degrees. It's like warm, but like you're still gotta wear like a sweater because it's dry.
I don't believe that. 70 degrees in a sweater, that's
Dude,
never
it's
been anything I've ever
it's
done.
so dry.
The minute it's past 50 degrees anywhere, I'm like,
Also,
t-shirt.
you came here at the worst possible time, I guess, or I moved in at the worst possible time because one, it's in the middle of a heat wave. That's like a bit unnatural, and two, they just had a massive storm blow through, which you know about because we were in the middle
Yeah.
of it, and so those two just made it ungodly humid and hot.
I spent
So
that
they said
entire
the
weekend
summer is normally hot.
melting into a puddle.
They said the summer's normally hot, but it's never this bad. Like,
I
this
spent
is
that
just horrible.
entire weekend turning into liquid Arab. I turned into a can of Vimto. It was not ideal. That was that. Basically what I'm saying is I'll see you whenever you're not in Arizona.
See, I just find this stupid. You're Palestinian and you can't handle the heat.
I've been in the Midwest for the past like 15 years. I've not acclimated to the Middle East. You're forgetting I'm half white as well. That's a contributing factor. That's
Exactly.
a pre-existing
White
condition.
people
I have to
love
mark
Arizo-
that down on
White
insurance.
people love Arizona, Sharif. I don't know why.
Because they love skin cancer. That's why. That's the only explanation I have.
So you should half love skin cancer.
You know what? You make a good point. I
Can we just
feel
talk
it in my
about
blood?
now that is a daily part of my routine is putting on sunscreen before I go out to my car.
I forgot to order you your industrial bucket of sunscreen.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, that
I guess
sounds terrible.
that normally, regardless of where you live, people actually just put on sunscreen, like just for their daily lives.
No, I'm
Yeah.
in Boston. I can confirm that doesn't happen.
I don't know. When I've been around people and they're like getting ready for the morning, they're always gotta put on some sunscreen before we go
You
out.
must be around really white people. That's
Yeah.
not an Arab issue.
Yeah.
You must have hung out with Sarah or something one too many times. Because that's not something anyone in my family has dealt with. Maybe my mom, but she's outside all day. And she's white, so there.
Yeah, but she has her big ass hat.
She does have her big ass hat. I'm surprised
Dude,
you noticed that when you came. That's like her signature thing. Like my mom's thing is her big ass hat.
Dude,
She loves
mom-
her big ass hat.
your mom, like,
yeah.
I knew she was white, and I can't believe I haven't met her in the last 5 years, but I finally met
Yeah,
her.
it's bizarre.
But she's like white.
She's very white. She's, how you doing? And, she has gardens and, she raises chickens. She makes cookies in the morning
She
sometimes.
just has a very like Midwest white woman accent too. Like
She very much does.
it's so
I don't-
off-putting.
Yeah, but she speaks phenomenally fluent Arabic, and she fits in the Middle East perfect. It's very weird. But when she's here, she's just as white as can be.
So here's the thing: since Dave and Musa obviously have to become best friends now,
I don't think that's happening
No,
anytime
it's
soon.
gonna happen.
Their religious convictions are too deep on either side.
I-
Sometimes it just can't be worked out. Sometimes there's no middle ground.
Can we just put them in a room together and just be like, you can't leave until one of you converts?
Oh, like Big Brother, but like we
Yeah.
put cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
We just leave it.
I guarantee my dad would be the one to break.
if there's a breaking point, yeah, my dad is stuck. He is not going anywhere. You know, I could read. Listen, I don't mean to boast, but Islam. Ooh, no, no, it's yeah. If there's a lot of people think I'm super religious the way I am, I'm like a fraction of what my dad is.
Oh my god, I love the first time I really ever met your dad was at like 3 a.m. in the dark in your car, and he said, "Do you want to hear about Islam?"
Yeah. That's pretty much his pitch, no matter what time of the day or the lighting conditions. He's a day Islamer. He'll do it in the day. He'll do it in the night. He'll do it wherever.
What was it?
So I saw.
Oh, okay, go.
I saw a car the other day.
I've seen cars too.
I was leaving work, and there was an Among Us sticker on it, and it said "honk if you're sus." And I went. That's pretty funny. So I honked. And I was like, oh, it's funny, you know, we went a few blocks and I go to make a left turn and he's going straight or right. I went to make a right turn and he's going straight. And so we're side by side now. We're at a red light and all of a sudden he rolls down his window. But he starts signaling me. And I was like, oh. So I rolled down my window. And he's like, hey, can I get your number? I was like, oh no, he really meant if you're sus. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. I was like, oh no. Then I rolled my window back up and I have a squeaky ass window, so the whole way up, it's just like, it became very awkward just because I wanted to commit to the joke and I didn't realize he was being serious. So that's how I kind of baited someone. Very weird scenario. I feel like a situation that I wasn't expecting to be in. I just saw a very funny little car sticker, and
then they asked for your number.
It was like the new bathroom stall call for a good time, and I was like, I want to have some fun. It's pretty much what happened, but the millennial version of it.
I feel like
more the Gen Z version.
I feel like you'd be that guy if you saw in like a bathroom stall call for a good time. You'd call, they'd answer, and you'd just be like, "Is this Chuck E. Cheese?
Is this Chuck E. Cheese? I'm kind of bored." He's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I don't know. You want to go to the park?" Like,
it's like in public. Ooh, kinky. You're like,
I'm very bad at context clues. I definitely misread that situation, and I feel like that's distinctly something that wouldn't happen to other people.
No, because most people would just be like, "Oh, weird."
Yeah, but I saw a sticker. I wanted to honk. I love honking. I barely get to use my car horn unless someone cuts me off. I never get to use it.
Dude, speaking about cars, I know we talked about this on the drive down, but my God, everyone here drives so much better than in Michigan.
Well, yeah, their cars aren't falling apart from rust. They have that opportunity.
Yeah, but no, everyone's just
people there drive
just
like
not
85.
An asshole. Everyone here's just not an asshole.
I guess. Yeah, that's the same in Boston. But, like, people down there drive, like, 87 Chevy pickups, and they're just fine. They're not rusted out. They're not dying. I have a hair in the back of my throat. I'm starting to panic because it's making me salivate very much. And I don't know if I should cough or I should just play it off, but it's definitely, like, leaned against the back of my throat.
I think now that you brought it up, you got to cough.
Oh, it's stuck there. Wow, that's not fun.
You just stick your hand back and grab it.
I'm trying to drown it. I might have swallowed it. We'll see. It was very weird because it wasn't laying flat. It was clearly part of the hair was on my tongue and the other was curved up onto my roof. And I could just feel it touching. I think it's still there. This is terrible. I hate this so much. Here I go. Sound like a cat. That's all right. Wow. Well, that's a part of the podcast now. I'm glad people are still listening to hear me cough up a hairball, quite literally. All right. I'd like to issue a formal apology to my sister for telling her she sheds like a cat growing up. Now that I have longer hair, I also shed like a cat. Hair is a lot more noticeable when it's 5 or 6 inches long.
I feel like you also now cough up hairballs more often just because you have a thick beard.
I've never had this issue until today. My beard is usually well out of the way.
No, I feel like if you have a really thick beard, I feel like there are some guys that cough up hairballs. Ew, that was just nasty.
Yeah.
For anyone because you can't see the video, I just saw a massive clump of drool just come out of your mouth and down into your beard.
No, it's not my beard. It definitely into my hand, but that was because there was a hair in it. So the hair is gone. I've coughed up the hair to the front. It was stuck. It was stuck with back of throat spit. So stuck with like sticky ass spit. That's not fun. This is not fun a segment. Why are we saying all this? It's staying in, obviously, but man. But yeah, having longer hair, you definitely notice it when it's in the carpet and on your pillow and in the shower and in the sink and just everywhere. You good?
Yeah, sorry, I had to text somebody, so I literally just didn't hear the last thing you said.
Well, now it's for the podcast and not for you.
Okay, sounds good.
You'll never get to hear it unless you go back and listen.
Sounds pretty good.
What?
No.
Are you staring at your chicken pot pie?
No, I'm staring at my fan.
Oh, man, it sucks to have to have one of those.
No, you know what's great, though, Sharif?
Huh?
Just for the fact that my apartment is in the shade, just because I have a roof and walls, I don't have to turn on my
apartments work.
I don't have to have my AC on for it to feel nice and cold in here.
What do you mean?
Because it's 110 degrees outside right now. My apartment, by default, is at like 80 degrees, and it feels so good.
By contrast,
so I'm saving a lot on my my energy bill by just not turning on my AC.
It's been 70 degrees here all week, and I think that's been phenomenal. What? All right, I'm not sure if I asked this already, but what is sleep?
You're just in a comatose state while you're hallucinating.
Why do we need it though? Why do we need to just shut down?
To recover?
Doesn't it feel like
to recover?
Doesn't it feel a bit odd to you? Is there a chemical thing going on?
Yes, that's what dreaming is.
No, we're not talking about the mental state. I'm talking about waking up and feeling good. Is that a chemical transition?
Probably, because when you fall asleep, your body starts to heal.
Why am I healing? What did I do? I didn't get cut up. I'm not a murder suspect. Why would I need to?
You're just like throughout the day, you're burning energy, and then you get to recover while you're asleep.
I guess that makes sense. I really wanted a less normal explanation on what sleep is. I guess I wasn't expecting it to just be.
But just listen to this. Like, sleep is when you have a dedicated room to something, you put on special clothing, and then you hallucinate while in a comatose state.
I don't put on special clothing.
That in itself is special clothing.
Wait, hold on,
no clothing is. Oh, okay. I thought you meant naked.
No. What do you call it? I wear just something comfortable, but I don't wear like pajamas or anything. They're just clothes I wear.
I just usually toss on like athletic shorts and my wife beater because I gotta beat my wife.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Same thing. Beat my wife. But the other thing as well. Why? Okay. I'm not sure if I ever told you this, but like all the way up until high school, looking back, I admit I was wrong. I admit this fully. I was just seeing how long it'd take you to notice. Looking at you good?
I'm good. I'm good. Go.
Okay.
Go.
Is it important?
No, it's absolutely not.
All right, then put your fucking phone down. Unless you want to be like someone else. I'm not gonna mention that.
Sierra?
No.
Oh, I thought you meant from D&D.
No. You know what I'm talking about. I think you've caught on now.
No, I've absolutely caught on.
Okay. So I'm not sure if I've ever admitted this before, but up until high school, and I admit I was wrong.
You peed the bed until high school.
No, I just used to wear like jeans to sleep.
Oh yeah, you told me that. You're fucking psychotic.
Looking back, it doesn't make any sense. But I was so used to wearing jeans to sleep.
Dude, that's so
that's
uncomfortable.
The norm.
Like if I fall asleep wearing like jeans or khakis or something, I feel disgusting when I wake up.
Well, here's the thing. In middle school, the entirety of middle school through like the end of high school and maybe some of college has been like a very slow puberty for me. Like I don't know, I didn't get chest hair until college. Like I've looked different every year for the longest time. So my body has always been substantially tired for a long time. So I remember I'd get home from school, I'd do some homework, and then I'd be like, I don't even want to change. I'm like, what if I just didn't? And I just fell asleep in jeans. And that's how I did things forever.
You're disgusting.
I would literally go to sleep like wearing jeans, a t-shirt, maybe like a hoodie, and I'd wake up a few hours later and I'm like, that was a great ass sleep.
Okay, if you're like dead ass tired, then
I was tired every day for like 6 years.
That's horrible.
How much
sleep did you get?
Then
again, thinking about it with how much your parents worked you.
Yeah,
makes
maybe
sense.
maybe like 5 hours of sleep a day. But the thing was, whenever I went to bed, I was going to bed tired every single night.
Yeah.
So it was like it didn't matter what I was wearing. I was gonna wake up refreshed.
If you are that tired, I can justify falling asleep in something like jeans and like a button up even.
And I don't think any middle schoolers wear button ups. Unless you go to private school.
Yeah, private schools. No, in middle school we wore polo shirts. High school was button ups.
No, for me it was like jeans and a graphic tee or a hoodie or something. But I don't know. It was just the normal back then. And looking back, yeah, of course it was weird, but it's just something I did.
Speaking about you just changing every fucking year, the fact that you hit your second puberty in college.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked. I just have a feeling I'm going to look significantly different every 5 years for absolutely no reason. Like usually that stops in adulthood.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm just like, what if I didn't?
Yeah, because 5 years ago you start growing out your beard. So that means for the next 5 years, you have to slowly start shaving your head.
I think for the next 5 years, I'm going to grow my hair out to like shoulder length. And I don't know. I've just looked physically different every time. Like, when I left high school, I was like 210, 220 pounds, but it was a weird skinny fat thing.
Yeah.
Where I had like no muscle, but like kind of like fat. I don't know what was happening. And now I'm 270, but it's like more muscle than fat. I don't know how to explain it. It's still a lot of fat. Fat's in the equation for sure. But
from all that olive oil you drink.
Don't you dare. Listen, my olive oil habits will never go away.
How much of your weight is just from the olive oil in your hair and on your head?
Man, dude, that olive oil cooked me in Arizona. I think if it was any hotter, we would have reached the smoking point of olive oil and my hair would have just started smoking. Maybe that's why alright, so I use olive oil in my hair because supposedly it's really good for you. But also, my great uncle has been using it for the last like 60 years, and his hair still has color to it. But now I'm thinking maybe he just kept hitting, because he lives in the Middle East, maybe he just kept hitting the smoking point of olive oil, and it was just charring his hair. Now that I look back on it.
So that means if you want to forever just have black hair, Sharif, you need to live here for probably a good year and just leave your head in oil.
I felt like a bag of popcorn in the sun. Like that was bad moves. You definitely need like real hair product in Arizona.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll just cook that on too. I have no clue.
A hat.
Hats are too small on me. All hats are too small.
No, you have your All-American Girl hat.
Even my racist All-American Girl hat that I picked up at a gas station for $12.99.
Not just any gas station. A Love's.
Even my racist All-American hat, that's still way too small. It looks way too small on me.
You have to get one of those really nice bucket hats like I have. Dude, they're phenomenal.
Might work, actually. That might work, because if you can't see past the rim, you don't realize that the top looks way smaller than it should.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a large head. I think this episode is just about how disproportionate and weird I am.
What did we talk about in the beginning?
Cow shit. Me hating Arizona, not being made for the heat. Eugenics. You know, the normal topics.
Normal things. Yeah, let's go back to the eugenics. So, baby murder.
Baby murder, the favorite topic of the podcast.
All right, Sharif, $1 million, right?
Uh-huh.
But you can't murder babies.
Ooh, no deal. Absolutely not. This is part of who I am. It'd be like asking me to stop breathing or drinking olive oil.
Yeah.
It's just a character trait. Can't do it. Can't do it.
You know what's another great character trait, Sharif? Family.
Oh, family. We started that like 7 months before the Vin Diesel thing was a meme.
We've been making fun of Vin Diesel and this stupid family bullshit since February. Since February.
Oh, yeah, that was February.
It was February.
I was moving out there to Boston. We saw a Vin Diesel movie on TV. Started Vin Diesel joking. I have video proof of it. And now all of a sudden the world wants to catch on. Trendsetters, even though we didn't publicize this whatsoever.
I love the fact that the only video you have is at like 2 a.m. in the hotel room in the pitch darkness of the without any light. It's just dark. You just hear the soft spot is family.
Sometimes the soft spot is family.
Like what was with the soft spot? Oh, because he headbutted that big ass Russian dude on the airplane.
Yeah,
he found his soft spot. God, what a phenomenal movie! We have to go see the 9th one.
What is it out yet?
I think so.
What is happening with that series? Why did they? Do you think they're self-aware at this point, or do you think that they legitimately...
Absolutely, they're self-aware after probably the 3rd or 4th one.
When do you think we're going to see a Fast and Furious meme and a Fast and Furious movie?
Probably the 9th one that's already out.
You think there's a meme in there, a Fast and Furious meme?
There's got to be.
You think there's some sort of reference, some sort of like self-reference to family
I feel like
or something?
They probably have to do that, or they have to like reference, like, was it in the 6th one with the plane when it takes like 30 minutes to take off? Like, they'd be like, oh, damn, that was a really long runway. Didn't make sense.
Well, there's been a lot of meme moments for like the Fast and Furious franchise, but I don't think any have hit as strong as this one did.
No. I just can't get over the fact, Sharif, that it started out like a regular franchise. Like, hey, we're a bunch of criminals stealing gasoline and racing cars. And now the government's like, hey, we need you to help kill these terrorists.
Yeah. We need you to infiltrate Al-Qaeda's base of operations, become terrorists yourself, have PTSD from regrettable moments. Yeah, the gang joins Al-Qaeda. Oh my god. That's something... I love Reservoir Dogs. I rewatched that earlier.
Dude, I haven't seen that in years.
What a phenomenal movie. We should rewatch it. Every little part of it.
We should get
the ironic and little jump
every
cuts.
Single Quentin Tarantino film.
She hates them.
I know.
She hated...
We have to make
How do you hate Hateful Eight? How do you hate Hateful Eight?
I can understand why some people hate it, because it is, like most Tarantino films, they are very long and drawn out, but it's more story more than anything. So, like,
she didn't like the violence.
Oh, Tibby didn't like violence. No, that's stupid. But, like, I've heard people, like, actually that can justify, like, oh, Hateful Eight was just too slow, like, for the story, for them to actually enjoy it. I love slow movies like that if the story is like very intriguing and has a lot of character depth.
But it wasn't slow at any point because there was always something to focus on. When there were points of like story building, you could focus on historical aspects, references, the cinematography of it. It was a very phenomenally shot movie. There's just so much else you can look at. And it was something that if you have attention span of a fucking orange peel, that's the only reason you can't concentrate on the fucking plot because it's taking too damn long.
But look at any other movie and I guarantee you Quentin Tarantino films are slower than it, because he takes time in every scene to focus in on a specific character and what they're doing rather than constantly be like, here's 50 people fighting, blow shit up.
Well, I guarantee you that's why like foreign films are going to start becoming a little more mainstream, because they're meant for audiences that don't have the attention span of a fucking bagel you dropped on a movie theater floor. Like there's
Parasite is pretty much just like that. There's so much more focus on individual characters in each scene.
But you have to concentrate through the parts that nothing's happening, and that just can't happen in American films. Yeah. There's always got to be something happening.
I almost said it won a Nobel Prize. I'm like, that's the wrong award.
Maybe it did for its work against poverty. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that movie was not what I expected when I saw it in theaters.
I went in, which I do with a lot of movies, not knowing a single thing about it. So it's very interesting not knowing where the movie is going. Because I'm not a big trailer guy. I don't like trailers. I never have. Whenever like a good movie's out and people are like, you should watch it, I usually take their word for it, and especially if it's people with similar movie tastes to me. But that makes it so much better. I highly suggest that people just stop watching trailers. They're gross.
See, I'm fine with not watching trailers, but when it comes to franchises that I'm really invested in, I want to watch the trailers just to see what the characters are going to be like before I watch it.
No, I think you should especially not watch trailers, especially if it's a sequel or a franchise, because you know what the basic storyline's about. You know who the characters are. You might as well just go watch the film. You know you're invested.
No, because for me, when it comes to a franchise I'm invested in, seeing the trailer too just gets me really fucking excited for when the movie comes out.
I guess, but I have a good memory when it comes to this
one-off
stuff.
movies. I'll just be like, okay, I'll go watch it. Like Parasite, I didn't see any trailers for that, and the whole time, like going into the movie, I thought it was gonna be like some horror movie about like aliens and I don't know, something weird.
It made it sound like that for sure.
With the title Parasite, and it's just about these people just hijacking this family's life.
Yeah, I mean the sound of the movie didn't make it sound that way, but I don't know. I think especially for franchise it applies. Because what are you expecting to see from the trailer that you weren't already going to know was going to happen? Like, let's say it's a new Captain America movie. If you go see the trailer, you're just going to spoil some plot points for yourself. See, you're going to know the general plot of the movie. You're going to go in speculating how the movie's going to end, and you're just going to be disappointed if it ends the way you thought it was, and even more disappointed if it ended a way you didn't think it was going to.
That's the one thing I like about comic book movies, because they don't go directly off of the comics. They draw inspiration. So when I see the trailers, I like coming up with theories and different plots that could exist in it, because it could be anything, and I have like some kind of background to go off of. But I don't like, for instance, the Batman vs Superman. That was fucking horrible when the trailer spoiled the biggest fucking plot twist in the movie in the first trailer.
Exactly. Don't listen. Just don't. You're risking that every time you see a trailer.
Companies do a good job at making trailers that don't spoil anything. But
still,
DC
you're risking this. But you're risking that chance every time you watch a trailer that it could be a next Batman versus Superman.
Also, I don't really care about spoilers.
I do.
Yeah, I really don't.
I don't care.
That one just made me upset because that was such a big one that I'm like, really? You had to do that?
I don't care if I hear a spoiler on the go, because, people, if they're excited about something, they might say something out loud. Mm-hmm. But I do care if the plot of a movie is just given outright in something that's supposed to be like a teaser.
No. Yeah, for the most part, I don't care if I see spoilers or hear spoilers. The only time it makes a difference is if it's, like I said, a major like plot twist that's supposed to change the whole story. And then I'm just like, well, I go in knowing that.
I guess. But all I'm saying is I don't think a trailer's ever changed someone's mind on if they're going to see a movie or not. I think if you're going to see the movie, you planned on seeing it. If you weren't, you weren't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never see the point in them.
Oh, no. There's plenty of times, I guarantee, that someone would be like, I don't want to see the movie. Then they see the trailer and like, okay, maybe I'll see the movie.
Maybe. I guess if you're indecisive.
Yeah.
And you have the attention span of a bagel. Who knows?
Like, if you are absolutely dead set on not seeing the movie, yeah, the trailer's probably not going to fucking do anything. If you are dead set on seeing the movie, you don't care if you see the trailer or not. But if you're indecisive and you see the trailer, that'll push you towards one side. I feel like that's why they mostly exist.
When do you think we're going to start getting trailers? Because trailers have become this overhyped thing where people are like, I can't wait for the trailer.
Like, do you remember
when trailers
used to be so shitty back in like the early 2000s on like when you would rent movies or videos from like Blockbuster?
Jim's just an everyday guy and living his life. When all of a sudden,
yeah, exactly.
You're talking about that era of movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird that they always give a narration to movies without a narrator.
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't tell what was happening by watching clips of the actual movie. Like they had to have someone explaining the plot to you. I very much associate that with trailers to like Jim Carrey movies.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know why. I just feel like Jim Carrey movies
Jim
are
Carrey
type
movies
that have like narrated
are
trailers.
perfect for narration and narration trailers. But when you said, are they going to have trailers for trailers? They already do, Sharif.
Do they?
They have teaser trailers.
What's that?
That's like a 30-second clip of like, ooh, look what's going to be in the next trailer.
Oh my god, we're there already?
It's so stupid.
How long have trailer teasers been a thing?
Years.
Yeah, years like the whole time I've been alive, or years like
I'd
since
say
high school?
definitely since high school.
Okay, so they're a modern concept. They're not something you'll find in earlier.
It was a little bit after like the whole trailer concept really shifted away from like that really basic, like this summer coming to theaters near you, and like shifted from like that kind of narration style and like really crappy movie clips to kind of more like these fast-paced action sequences from different films that they throw at you to like grab your attention more.
Why are we doing this? Why is this something we do?
Because American consumerism. You look like you're having a great time thinking about this.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand why. Like, what's the? I give up. There's no point to any of that.
No.
What? I was like saying that sarcastically. I didn't realize it's an actual thing that we have trailers
it's an
for
actual
trailers.
thing.
Are they good?
No, it's like 10 or 15 seconds or whatever.
So it gives you nothing. It literally gives you nothing.
Yeah, and actually there have been like, I guess it's more of like an announcement, but there's always a lot of lead up to trailers now where they're like, here's a 10-second clip where it's like, in 5 days, the new trailer for this movie releases. And we're like, oh, cool.
I think unless they're doing really well, movies are a dead genre. I think they're a dying genre, and that's why I think people... Yeah, I think that's why people are clinging to franchises and things with long, drawn-out sequences like the MCU.
No.
Because people want more nowadays. They want to get attached, and movies don't give you that opportunity.
See, I think movies are doing phenomenal now.
I think they're doing phenomenal when it comes to money, but I think when it comes to creativity and how much you can do with it, they're kind of a dying thing.
Yeah, when it comes to like, they're definitely running out of ideas.
Because there's not...
But I think what is dying is the concept of movie theaters. Everything's shifting to streaming services now. And I hate to see that, is seeing movie theaters die. Because I love going to the theaters every fucking weekend to see a different movie. I didn't even know it would be out. I would just go there and be like, I'll see this one.
Ripping yourself off every now and then is a fun experience.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to the theaters, I probably pay $30.
Yeah.
And it's a thing of like, well, if I was going to go out for a fun night, $30 isn't a bad price to pay.
Yeah.
Even though if you compare it to watching that movie like 2 or 3 years down the line on a streaming service, it's like you only pay a few pennies, but it's more for the experience of just like going out and doing something. Also,
I usually never bought theater food or concessions because that's fucking absurdly expensive.
I did. That's part of it. Though. Of course, it's expensive.
For
but
me,
that's
part
like
of the experience was sneaking in like 10 pounds of Twizzlers and my own drinks.
You do that too, but like if you're just gonna have, I'm
always gonna get popcorn though.
Right, but if you're like, I'm not going to worry about money, I'm going to get myself a drink, some popcorn, I'm going to sit down, and I'm just going to forget about things, that's a good night.
Yeah.
It's a good night.
Wait. Speaking about food at movie theaters, can we talk about the people that went to, like, was it Imagine, where you could get, like, where they would serve you, like, actual, like, dinners in the theater?
I don't think Imagine does that.
I think it was Imagine, yeah.
I know Alamo does it, but Almo's out of business now.
Yeah. I know there was a handful of theaters that did that. I think specific AMC theaters did that, but
AMC for sure.
Like, how expensive do you think that was for, like, I'd like a steak dinner to watch during my movie? Like, they already charge you like $20 for a tub of popcorn.
You're probably getting a $50 steak dinner.
Yeah, that's worth like what, $4?
Yeah, it probably is like $4 mass purchased meat. And they're selling it to you for $50. But once again, I support that. I agree with it because it's about the experience. It's not about valuing how much the actual product costs.
Yeah.
It's about valuing your time out.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, at least I can't say anything for certain, but they need to get better steaks.
Probably. I haven't had one of their steaks,
exactly.
but you can guess what movie theater steak would taste like.
Like movie theater.
Like movie theater, they dip it in the popcorn butter and throw it on a grill.
Wait, that would actually be kind of good. I'm not gonna lie.
I find it really funny that most theaters have an option for real butter for like an upcharge. It's like, what have you been serving me? What is this? What am I putting in me?
I just find fucking absurd though is that popcorn is the most upcharged food sold in the entire world.
It's absurd, but not surprising.
Yeah, it's not surprising, but it's like when you think about it, like percentage wise, they spend probably like a fraction on a penny for every dollar that you spend on popcorn.
Well, if you think about it, for like that $10 like jumbo tubbo that they're selling you, they're probably only giving you like one head of corn.
Yeah.
They're selling you one head of corn for like $15.
Yeah.
And
actually, no, probably not even that. Because I remember I made popcorn at my house, like not the microwavable kind of like I bought the kernels and like I made it in the pot and everything.
Yeah,
and it was like a quarter cup filled my entire pot.
You made it by pot?
Yeah.
We had a popcorn maker growing up. Like it was like a little thing it was like a stationary hair dryer essentially. You plugged it in, it made like a loud whir, and then like popcorn just started like spitting out of the spout.
No, that's the air fryer popcorn thing or whatever.
Kind of. We got this popcorn
I hate
maker.
Those things. They don't work.
We got that popcorn maker. They worked for us. When we got this popcorn maker, because my dad all of a sudden one day decided to come home with a 60-pound bag of popcorn seeds. And I was like,
cost him like $5.
It probably did, and it may have took us like 8 or 9 years. I think the almost entirety of the time we were at our old house, that bag of popcorn sat in a corner of our basement, and we just and it was open. Nothing was gonna eat those seeds. They're dried popcorn seeds, and every now and then it just kind of went, I could use some popcorn. And you'd take a little scoop and you'd put it in the popcorn maker, and then you'd be like, maybe no more popcorn for a while.
Yeah, but then like thinking about it, that's a great business practice for movie theaters. Like what, they spend $5 for 50 pounds of popcorn kernels, and then every bag they sell they charge you $10.
Oh, they probably got it for way cheaper than my dad would get it for.
Yeah, but like the idea of just that, like, let's just Sharif, can we just sell popcorn? Can we open a popcorn stand?
Here's the thing.
Let's do a popcorn stand.
Here's the funny thing. Large mass scale popcorn sale is really only done in two financial districts. It's done in the setting of a movie theater and selling horse feed. So you can kind of tell how cheap it is if they sell it. Anytime I go to Tractor Supply, they have bags that look very similar to what I had sitting in my basement for a few years. They sell just giant 60-pound bags of horse feed that has a picture of a horse on it. It's just kernels of corn. And I'm like, were we horses? Why did we have a bag of popcorn kernels sitting in our basement for so long?
I feel like your parents would be those people where like as you were growing up, like looking back, you're like, no, they literally just gave us like horse feed. They treat us like horses.
Yeah.
Like, all right, gotta comb your mane. He's like, gotta get outside. Have a carrot, Sharif. Like, you have a distinct memory as a child of your parents hand feeding you a long carrot.
You know what? I remember when we lived in Dubai. I don't know why he packaged it like this. My dad, before we would go out, it was this funny little morning tradition we had. We lived on one of those like corner apartments that were like right above a corner store. And I remember he would peel and slice a carrot, but he'd wrap it in tin foil. And as we were leaving, it was like this funny little morning thing we did. Every morning as we were leaving, we'd look up and my dad would like airdrop these tin foil wraps of carrot, and we'd just catch him and would have carrot on the bus to school.
Why tin foil?
I don't know why. He could have definitely put it in like a baggie, but he decided to wrap it in tinfoil. But that's something I distinctly remember as a kid, is my dad airdropping us carrots wrapped in tinfoil. So
Next thing, you just walk out the door, look up, and he has like your lunch. He just drops it for you.
He could have handed it to us out the door, but every morning, I guess it was probably for his enjoyment. He enjoyed dropping it and having us catch it.
I mean, if I was a dad, I would do that too.
Would you? Yeah, would you not? You'd be like, dude, I get to play catch with my kids every morning. Catch, son. Throw it out the window.
It's like you give them like a pudding mix one day. It just hits them in the face. It's just pudding everywhere. And it's like, not my child.
Not my child. My kid would always catch the pudding. Oh, man.
Your dad literally gave you guys carrots every day. You were horses to him.
We might have been horses. I'm not sure what shampoo we had growing up. I got to check if it was mane and tail.
Did he keep you in a stable?
That out. It might have been. I'll see. I'm going to dig my memories and see if there were any memories of hay growing up. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Watch your bed have been hay instead of like an actual mattress.
It's stuffed with hay. I think despite having a very poor childhood, I think it was a fun childhood. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of small things I remember that were like embarrassing, but they were just very fun looking back on. Like the majority of my childhood consisted of going to parks, and I remember because I had like 10 siblings, there were like massive games of tag. And it was really fun. But looking back, I'm like, oh, we went to parks every weekend because all we could afford was to go to parks every weekend. So
for me, my childhood, the most that I can really remember was hanging out with Kyle and his twin brother. And you're
pretty much an only child aside from them.
Yeah, and like I remember we'd be doing stuff or just hanging out, and then his brother would like do something stupid. And Kyle would be like, hey, stop that. And then his brother would punch him in the face. And then they'd start fighting. Oh, and then I'm just awkwardly standing like, guys, I want to go home. Can I go call my mom?
No. I remember a lot of fights in my childhood. But that was fun. Once again, it was poor fun people thing.
If I was a sibling, if I was their sibling, it would have been fun. But I'm just that friend that awkwardly has to stand there and watch them beat the crap out of each other on their front lawn.
No, we had a friend group growing up that were all, two of them are business majors. One is nursing now. One is a doctor and one's an engineer. So like we all did pretty decently in life. But growing up, I remember we'd always go to his neighborhood. And he lived in one of those like giant apartment complex neighborhoods where they have like the big grass courtyards.
Yeah.
And I remember we'd go a few blocks away and duck the corner so his mom couldn't see us. And then we had a fight club, and it was really fun. And we literally had it was like tournament style. So everyone would be fighting each other, and the rules were no punches to the face, and it was just kind of you'd break it up when the fight was over. And it was so funny because we were all evenly matched. We're all like within a year or two of each other, and we were just slugging it out every other weekend, just like having this giant fight fest. And
right down the street, and their mom's just like, my children are having such a nice time outside.
Yeah, and now we're all like lawyers and doctors and engineers, and it's like it's just really funny looking back. And also there were a lot. Sam was one of them, the guy from Gym.
Yeah. I remember him.
Yeah. And looking back, it's really funny because it's like, oh, it's not even fight anymore, is it?
You could just pick him up and throw him.
Yeah, he's a strong dude though for his size.
Yeah, but he's short. That's very short.
That's true. We used to compete for height for a while, and then it suddenly stopped, and I was like, oh, it's because we distinctly won, and they didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Speaking about small people being strong, Cam sent me this video yesterday. This kid, I think he weighed 150 pounds, maybe less, and he deadlifted 740 pounds.
What? I feel bad for anyone who actually dedicates themselves to weightlifting because Gen Z is on crack.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gen Z's been up to, but for whatever reason, they're a little too intense into weightlifting, and they're winning.
That's literally strongman level weight for deadlifts, and this kid is just this puny, scrawny little motherfucker. And these strongmen are like 30 years old, weigh like 400 pounds, and train their whole lives to like lift.
Usually
like
take
800 or 900
steroids.
pounds. Yeah.
Usually on steroids.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's crazy.
Right, well.
And this kid's like he looked like me when you first met me, and you were like, "Oh, I see veins. Do you work out?" And I was like, "What's a gym?"
The potential, dude. The potential.
I know.
These kids are we're gonna have a super breed of humans that are Gen Z, and they'd be like, "What were you saying, boomers?" Beating old folks' ass in the nursing home.
I'm just imagining
Shut up, Grandpa.
this like 250-pound rip dude wailing on this 80-year-old man in a wheelchair. It's like, "Oh, you broke the economy. I'll break you."
I think the world is legitimately gonna get better as Gen Z grows up. They're doing good.
No, I think the
millennials
world will
have
get
been
better.
very.
The world will get better as boomers die off.
I don't think so. I don't think anything's gonna change really until Gen Z gets in charge. Yeah. Because millennials,
by the time they're like in their 20s and 30s, millennials will be the ones in positions of power in government, because it's usually like one generation behind.
Maybe, yeah, but millennials have always been the most meh generation. I mean, aside from being broke, we're really not known for anything.
No, I think we're pretty self-aware, but that's about it.
Maybe, but we haven't done anything about our self-awareness. It's like we're a computer that gained consciousness, which has decided to play solitaire all day.
You know what millennials have?
Huh?
Veganism.
God.
I saw this video.
Millennials are like computers that became self-aware but decided to play solitaire all day with their self-awareness. That's all we are.
Yeah.
We're like, we know the situations exist, but we will sit here and do nothing about them.
I saw this video earlier though. On those really like radical psychotic veganism groups.
Yeah.
They walked into a McDonald's. They were playing noises of screaming goats and chickens and cows. They were wearing like raggedy clothes. They put on like fake blood and stuff. And they had like a monitor like flashing pictures of dead animals. And then they're just throwing like fake blood all over the kitchen counters and floor. And everyone's just like, weird. I'll order my Big Mac, please.
I would change my order from to go to eat dine-in. I'd be like, I didn't know a show was happening tonight. I got to see where this goes. What if you were in a situation like that? Wouldn't you stay?
I would absolutely stay.
I'd absolutely stay. I want to see how this ends.
Change my order to the most like meat-heavy dish they have. Go to Arby's, get the fucking meat mound or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'll take the McFeedlot. Just,
It's like, I'll take the cow raw. I want it live still. Just bite it into its thigh just in front of them.
I want to taste its last meal. Okay, let's end it. Hey, what if we didn't have an outro?
Like, no outro? No music or yes music?
No, I mean the music. It's there.
Oh, okay.
But that's it. We're just done.
Wait. Yeah, I can hear the music.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. Hey, you don't need to know who we are. You don't need to know what this podcast is. Who says that it even has a definite end? Who says that we're fading out right now?
Who says that you need to like and subscribe? No one. Not us. We don't exist. This channel never existed.
Maybe we're just here until the video ends. That'll be the end of it. So we're not gonna say it's an end. We gotta have evidence. Hey, this one has no ending.
No ending. Oh, alright. Are they still here?
Could be. Who knows? We didn't end it. It never finished.
It's wild. You guys should really leave.
It just trailed off. The whole thing just trailed off.
Stop listening.
Probably actually done now. We're probably finished.
Are we finished? Are we?
We're definitely finished, but it never ended. We just trailed off, and there was no ending. That was it.